All right, 21 through 25. Most of you got all of these right. In fact, hardly any of you got more than two of these wrong. But nevertheless, we'll go over it. You had to match the questions, which are in the paragraph, to the letters, which are on the bottom. I've already done that for you now, so you can kind of see it as I go through it. All right, if you need help with this, you can go ahead and take out the page in your notebook on the scientific method. It was what you pasted onto the back of point number 2. So if you want to take that out, it might be a little bit easier to follow this. All right, first of all, you're looking for the number that best correlates with each letter. So you have to use process of elimination here. John always wondered which batteries would last longer in his Wii remote. All right, let's think about this now. He wondered which batteries would last longer in his Wii remote. Kind of sounds to me like a question. That's his question. He wants to know, hey, which type of batteries is going to let me play Madden longer? Which type of batteries is going to let me play Mario longer? And that would be his question. Scientists ask questions, and that's the basis of the scientific method, asking a question. Secondly, he noticed that Duracell claims to give him the most amount of hours and is the most expensive. You can kind of say here that maybe, his mom bought him Duracell, sometimes Energizer other times, and it just seemed to him that Duracell lasted the longest. That's an observation. When you're observing something, observing that, hey, Duracell lasts longer, that would be an observation. So that should be D for 22. He decides to test 3 batteries, Duracell, Energizer, and Everlast. The boys Mike and Joe decide to play Madden 09 until each of the batteries' controller dies. Here's where a lot of you messed up. If you look at these two sentences here, you can take either one, before or after the 23. And notice that basically what they're saying is what they did in their experiment. That would be considered steps of the experiment. They decided that they were going to test out these batteries and see which one lasted the longest. So their experiment was, and I'm sure they had a lot of fun doing it, was just to play Madden and see which battery died first. That would be considered steps of the experiment. Alright, after that, when the battery finally dies, they will mark how many hours that particular brand of battery gave. Now, this is also a little bit tricky, but again, by using process of elimination, you can kind of figure out which one it should be. I would say, looking at it, that this should be analyzing the results, because they're marking down Energizer gave me 4 hours, Duracell gave me 6 hours, Everlast gave me 2.5 hours. That's marking it down. That would be a considered part of analyzing the results. They're taking the results that they got, analyzing them, putting them on a sheet. Last but not least, Mike thinks Duracell would last longest because they're the most expensive and guarantee the most amount of hours. Now, here's where some of you got tricked because you thought, hey, 25, that's the end of the paragraph. That's got to be analyzed results. You probably didn't even read it. If you think about it, look at what it's saying. He thinks Duracell will last longest. Doesn't that kind of sound like a prediction? He thinks Duracell will last the longest. To me, that sounds like a prediction. And you know that when you hear a prediction in a paragraph or in an experiment, you can just go straight to hypothesis for that one. So your last little sentence here should be 25 should be A, your hypothesis. And there you go. Scientific method made easy.